It is now official. The conflict between the United States, Iran, and Israel has resumed full time. No more child's play, no more guerrilla warfare. The conflict has started. The negotiations, which Donald Trump had been promising us that he is about to reach a deal with Iran, had completely collapsed. Donald Trump came out 2 days ago and promised us that he is going to make a deal with Iran in the next 2 to 3 days. But trust me, every negotiation has collapsed and they have gone back to the battlefield. Of course, Donald Trump came out yesterday and posted on his Truth Social account saying the United States military is a complete and total mess, saying Iran had a chance to negotiate for a great deal, but they were only talk and no action. This is what Donald Trump said, and they are going to pay for the price. Several hours after Donald Trump made that post, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War in the United States, also came out and told the media that CENTCOM, which is the United States Central Command, is going to be busy tonight. This is what Pete Hegseth said. So Donald Trump has ordered for multiple strikes against Iran this morning. The United States carried out multiple strikes targeting the region of Siring, Menab, Bandar Abbas, Keshim Island, and Engam Island. So these are the regions where the United States carried out multiple strikes against Iran this morning. In fact, the war has started full time. The war has started, just as I told you yesterday and in the last few days, that the war has started. In fact, there was no ceasefire going on between the United States, Israel, and Iran. The ceasefire, the 60-day ceasefire that Donald Trump announced few days ago, had collapsed even before they announced it. So the war has started. We are again going to start experiencing another phase in this conflict. Immediately after the United States carried out these strikes against Iran, of course, Iran is always ready. They have always told us that they are willing to go back to the war because the conditions that they have presented to the United States are final. They are never going to change their mind. So any agreement that they are about to make with the United States is going to be on their favor. And apart from that, or otherwise, they are going to go back to the battlefield. We all know the conditions that Iran presented. They wanted the United States to recognize their sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, which means Iran wanted a full control over the Strait of Hormuz, and they wanted to continue collecting tolls. They also wanted the United States to release their frozen assets and also to end all wars in the Middle East, including Gaza and Lebanon. They also wanted the US to close all the military bases in the Middle East. So these are some of the conditions that they presented. In fact, another condition is that the United States was supposed to pay for reparations caused by this war. So these are some of the conditions that they presented to Donald Trump since day one of this negotiation. So Donald Trump has been acting as if he wanted, in fact, Donald Trump already agreed to those conditions, but because of the criticism from his advisors, Donald Trump had to change his mind. So this is why we are going to be experiencing another conflict. Immediately, the United States carried out their strikes against Iran. Iran retaliated immediately by targeting Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. They also went further to completely close the Strait of Hormuz. So Iran has announced that no tanker or ship is going to be allowed to have access in the Strait of Hormuz, just as they have threatened a few days ago. They already said any strike again against them, they are going to completely close the Strait of Hormuz. Now, What is going to happen? We don't know. So we are starting to experience another phase in this war. Donald Trump has said he is going to hit Iran more and more because Iran has not agreed to his conditions. He has insisted in the past few weeks that Iran must agree not to have a nuclear weapon. This is one of the main reasons why this conflict has started, because Iran is not willing to give up their nuclear enrichment. Iran has already told the United States multiple times. In fact, even their supreme leader, Moshtaba Khamenei, came out and said weeks ago that Iran's nuclear enrichment and missiles facilities are non-negotiable. He went further to say Iran's nuclear enrichment will never be transferred out of Iran. And this is not what Donald Trump wants to hear. Donald Trump is insisting that Iran must transfer their nuclear enrichment to the United States. And just a few days ago, Iran still went further to sign a 50 billion US dollar deal with Russia, which means Russia is going to develop a nuclear site. In fact, a 500 square hectare land in Iran. So expect more escalations. I told you yesterday, we are into the conflict again. The Strait of Hormuz is totally closed. Expect prices of oil and gas, the prices of commodities to increase again. Just because Donald Trump doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to treat Iran as an equal. He thinks Iran is Venezuela. Iran is not going to settle for less because they are capable. They have already shown their military capabilities. They have shown the world what they can do, putting on a good fight against the United States and Israel, and at the same time launching several strikes in the Gulf countries. So Iran is not Venezuela. I will continue to tell you that Iran is not Libya. Iran is not Syria. They have proven to the world. In fact, their supreme leader told Donald Trump that the United States has already tested them and they have seen the result. If they test them again, the results are not going to be different. So sit back and enjoy the conflict. But what do you think? What do you know? What have you heard? Let's discuss in the comment section. And remember to like, comment, and share this video. And stay tuned for more updates as far as this war is concerned. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video.